Hey gang, Karen McCoy here, and welcome to this video, tips and tidbits on the 7 deadly sins. I spent a lot of years in gyms and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff go on, but there seems to be some exercises that continuously still to this day are done wrong by a good majority of the population. So I thought I would compile my top 7 that I see done incorrectly that I would love to see somebody show them how to do it right. Check them out. Let's see if you can recognize them, or maybe if you're guilty of some of these too. Here we go. Spot number 1 and 2 on my list of the 7 deadly sins of weight training belong to working the triceps. What are the triceps? Back of the arm, right? Tricep is this part, tri meaning 3 muscles within the back of the arm that we need to engage in order to keep that part of the arm firm. This seems to be an area for women that often is tough to develop. And ironically, there's a lot of fat cells in some women on this side of the arm. And the reason for that is, I don't know, God figured that we needed it on our belly and our butt and hips and on the back of our arms. Who knew? But anyways, this seems to be a storage area for some people. But obviously a lot can be done with building the muscle up underneath. And you will see the cellulite go if you build that muscle up. But what I see with triceps is a bunch of different variations. First one is not keeping your elbows by your side. So what I always say is when we're doing tricep work, you need to remember that your elbows cannot stray. Whether we're doing a kickback or whether we're doing a press down, whatever form we're doing, this elbow needs to stay by the side. So what I often see, say for example, tricep push down, I'm seeing women swinging from out here, right? And look at where my elbows are going. They're swinging away from the side of my body. So what's happening here? Absolutely nothing. What we need to do is move in. Do not be far away to start. So move in, bring those elbows down by the side. The weight is off the stack. This is where you start and finish from. Push down, squeeze the triceps, back up. Down, back up. So those elbows are not moving from my side. They are staying put, and my arm has to fully extend. So I am fully extending to work that tricep. So I am not out here. I am not letting them move up and down. I am in close, elbows by my side, and from here and up. Always control. Please, ladies, keep your elbows by your side at all times. The other exercise that drives me crazy when it comes to working the triceps is when people are doing the rope, they flick at the bottom. What is that doing? Are you doing a wrist exercise too? When you go down with the rope, you're going down and clearing your legs. You are not flicking with the wrist. It's not doing anything. I don't know why people do that. I see this admittedly more with men than women, but do not flick at the bottom. All you have to do is just clear your legs and your hands will naturally come around your thighs at the bottom, but no need to flick, okay? No flicking. When people work the biceps, what I often see if they're using a heavier bar, sometimes dumbbells, is I see them not going to full extension. So please remember, when we're working the biceps, to let it extend fully down. There's a reason for that. You will not get a nice peak. You will not fully develop that bicep unless you allow it to go all the way down. I often see people going partial like this. When it gets really heavy, they'll go partial. It's not going all the way down. You have to allow a full extension to get a full contraction to get full results. All right? So again, those elbows are staying by my side. Same rules with the triceps. They're not lifting up, right? They're staying by my side, but I am allowing that barbell to go all the way down and to fully straighten my arms at the bottom. That's the key to creating great biceps. Bulgarians are one of the tougher glute exercises. What we need to do with Bulgarians is take a long step out first and then throw the back leg back. What I often see is women taking a stand, putting a leg up, trying to go into a Bulgarian squat or a split squat, and they're not getting down far enough, and they're not getting a long enough stretch to work the glutes, and their toes too far back. So their knees going beyond the toe, which you don't want in Bulgarians, but they're not getting the full depth because they're not out far enough. What you need to do is take a long step first. Long step. Now, toe up. Find your place. There you go. It's nice and long. And you go down. And the reason that some women don't take the long step is they think if they take a step and they're here, they can jump their way out, which you can, but you're bound to lose your balance. And if you're holding heavy dumbbells or a med ball, it's pretty tough. So make sure you take that long step first, then shoot back. And now you know for sure you've got a nice long lunge for the Bulgarians to fully do all their magic. When we're doing lat pull downs, it's really important that we don't go below the sternum. I often see people doing the lat pull down, and what they're doing is they're coming down here. It's not necessary, nor is it beneficial to come down that low. What you want to do is you just want to come down to the sternum, which is above the boobs, okay? This works the back. You contract your back at the same time. It's all back being used. Come down to the sternum, the upper breast area, above your boobs. Do not pull down to here because you are no longer working your back. You need to be right at the top part of your chest, all right? Right at the sternum. The other thing I see a lot of people do is with too much weight on the lat pull down, they are bringing their shoulders down to try to help them. So I see this a lot. I see it in the row as well. Coming down, and they start hunching up their shoulders at the bottom, and they're doing it because the weight's too heavy and or the back is not doing the work. The shoulders are stronger, and so they're taking over. So you really have to focus keeping those shoulders out of it. They have no place in this exercise, and it has to come from your arms and your back. So do not hunch down at the end with your shoulders lifting up. The crunch is the most basic of exercises. There's a lot of different ways of doing it. You can have your feet on a bench, feet in the air. You can use a ball, use no weight, whatever you want to do. But the idea behind the crunch is you are just lifting your head and shoulders up. I see a lot of girls attempting to do the crunch, and what they want to do is they want to overcompensate, and instead of crunching up like this, where they're just contracting their abs to lift their shoulders and head up, they actually want to do a sit-up. So I see all sorts of different versions of that. The crunch specifically works the upper part of the abdominals when you concentrate and only lift the shoulders and head up. So here's one version of a crunch. Up and down. Up. All I'm doing is lifting my shoulders up, and it's contracting the upper part of the abs. If I lift up, number one, there's momentum in there. Number two, I'm not focusing on the upper abs. So I can also do it legs up in the air, doing a crunch this way, right? I can also do it legs over a bench with a bar behind my head and crunching up this way. Whatever you're doing for a crunch, all you're doing is tucking your chin and lifting up at the shoulders, and that contracts the upper abs like nothing else. So focus in, smaller is better with this movement.